Hi everyone, it's Vicky. I've got 2 of these kits to start using and to show you what's inside it before I start making the items inside. So that's what it looks like in the bag. It's to make 3 cacti. It's a knitting kit. There's 4 balls of yarn. There's 3 terracotta style pot plants, and there's 2 skeins of orange and pink thread, and there's some polyester stuffing. And it's from a company called creacrafts.com. So this is what's in this kit. There's some extra patterns. There's pattern for some gardening gloves, a baby hat, a flower cushion, and some pot plants. But I'm going to be making these, which are the 3 cacti that are in the kit. So here's that stuffing, the polyester stuffing. It's been vacuum sealed, and I have stuffing that I'm trying to use up. So I will leave this vacuum sealed. I won't be using it in this project. I'll be using my own stuffing, and I'll use this compressed stuffing in my stash. It'll save some space for storage. And first up, we've got this lovely fluffy yarn. It's almost like a mohair, but it's not. It's a polyester, or it's an acrylic yarn. If you can see that, it's very fluffy. And then we've got 2 greens, and these are like a double knit thickness. And then we've got this tan color or sand color yarn, and this almost looks like it's a chain stitch on crocheting. So it's at least double the thickness of a normal yarn. And then we've got these terracotta style pots, but as you can see, they're squishy and they're made of silicone. So we've got 3 of those. There's that embroidery cotton or embroidery floss, and here is the pattern book. So I've got a feeling that this is one of those kits that you collect every month, because it's got punch marks, and those are normally those kits that you collect every month and then you put them in a binder. You can see a nice close-up of the different cacti that are in this book. And I did find another one. So let me just flip through. There's a nice picture of them all as well. And then I did also see this one. Put this one in. So I think I'll make that one as well. That one's got like lattice over the top of it. So I've got 2 kits, so I can make 6 of these little cacti. So I'll make duplicates of these 2, and then I'll make this one, and I'll make one that looks like the lattice one. So unfortunately I didn't press record on my phone. I thought I did, and when I went back to check it was gone. I have completed all that fluffy stitching on the main part of the cactus, and I sewed up the side. I don't know where the side is, and then I went over it again with the stitching so you can't actually see where my join is. I then sewed it onto here and I stuffed it, and now I'm working on the little arms that will go on the cactus, so it will look like that. Alright, so my arms are embellished. I haven't snipped all those fluffy stitches yet. I thought that might look quite fun doing it at the end. There's a lot of mess at the back, but it'll just add to the stuffing. So now I'm just going to sew this up as best I can, and then I will fill it with the stuffing. And like this one, I might need to do an extra row of those fluffy stitches to cover up my seam. Actually, I will have to, I can already see it. So there's the one arm, and it still needs some stuffing, and I'll do the second arm. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to look at my longest one. They're about the same, but I normally choose the longest end to sew items together. And I've got a shorter one and a longer one, so I'll put the longer one further down, and they are supposed to bend a bit because they were knitted with a bit of a curve. So I'll turn it so the bend is facing upwards. Now bear in mind I haven't snipped the loops on the arms to make them into spikes yet. I'll do that next. Although they do look quite cute as loops as well. Now it's probably hard to see what I'm doing, but I'm catching a stitch from the main body part, and I'm catching the edge stitch of my arm. This pattern is quite forgiving because of all this white fluffy stuff. You actually can't see the filling inside the cactus. Okay, and I'm back to the beginning, and I'm going to tie my first and last thread together, or yarn together. So cute. Okay, and then I'm going to hide those ends inside. And all I do for that is I'm going to put it in where it comes out, and I'm just going to push it out further along. And I'll do the same thing for this one. Put it in where it's come out, push it out a bit further along, and then both those can be snipped off. Okay, and there's the one arms. That's very sweet. Looks like he's waving. He needs some eyes. Okay, and back to the beginning, and oh, how cute is that? Alright, let's tie off those ends. Lose these ends. And then I'm going to just snip all these loopy stitches, and we will get a nice spiky cactus all the way around. Well, I must say, after all that hard work doing these funny, fluffy, spiky stitches, and as I said, they took longer than actually the knitting of the entire cactus, they do look very cute. Isn't it beautiful? He looks like he's reaching for a hug. So I'm not sure. I mean, it stands, but I think it would probably be good if this was put into a more solid pot. But if I use some hot glue and I glue that in, it will be stuck. It's not moving anywhere. It's quite stable. And I think that looks very cute. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so my next little cactus is ready. I'm sure you saw that I had to do a bit of weaving in of my ends creatively to cover up some of the holes in my knitting. I don't know why there was some holes there. It was in the shaping area, so I might have knitted something incorrectly. So this one looks a little bit different to that one because that one's got that white fluffy stuff on it. But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to knit that cover for it, and then I'll add it on afterwards. So what it says is you stretch it over and you pop the little arms through these holes. So the first one will be fine. Just make sure I stretch it enough for the second one so that it can go all the way around the back, and I'll show you what I mean now. So lots of threads everywhere. Let's see. Okay. So I've got to make sure that I can join that back seam. I'm going to just attach it to the bottom of the green part, just to pull it down a bit, and that one. And I might use that thread to just attach it all the way around the bottom. Now it says you just lace up the back. I think I'm going to have a join. I don't think it's possible not to have a join. Let's see, maybe I can make some holes. So it looks less like a join. And you've got to stretch that top part as well, so it all sort of stretches up and around. I don't really like that join that I've done there, so I'll just pull it a bit tighter. So I'm at the top, and there's the front, which that looks quite good, and I'm just going to gather up this section here. Okay, so I've done that one. So I'm going to hide my knot that I've just made. I'm going to hide it in there, and I'm going to start just tacking all this down. Okay, so that lacy one is done. It's quite fiddly actually to get all those little bits sewn together, but it was a lot quicker to do than this one. But I love the way that those two turned out. So this piece, it suggested that I end the pattern with the dark green, but I want it to look almost seamless. I don't want to have a big double dark green strap on the one side. So I'm going to sew it up with the lime green, and I think I'm going to do this side seam first, and then I'll gather up the top. There is going to be a join, you will see it more than that one. But it won't be as obvious as if I did two dark green lines together. knitting stretches when you sew things together, so I do like to just check every now and again that everything's still lining up and I haven't stretched one side more than another. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. You can see there's a join there, but I think it's not as visible as if I'd done it the way the pattern suggested. Okay, I'm going to tie these two together. And I'll tie these two together. Alright, and there's the striped cactus with its friend. I didn't film myself knitting this one. It was a lot more complicated than the other two. It was knit on these double pointed needles in the round, and it looks a bit like a cup when it's finished. And these were knit on straight needles. So these were knit on these needles. The pattern was a lot more complicated, and I'm only making one of these. I will make a duplicate of one of the others, which are a lot easier to make. So I'm just going to be sewing this one together. And this is my least favorite one. I think the colors are great. I don't like the shape. I feel like maybe it's too big. I probably should have gone down a needle size. However, that one with some of its friends does look very, very cute. So thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.